So moving on with these Browns conversations, we got a few minutes before Mary Kay Cabot joined us, and I just wanted to ask you all. We know Anthony Walker is back on his team. Juan Thornhill is a guy who's played in 3 Super Bowls, a guy who's coming in here off a lot of success. Is Juan Thornhill a guy that's going to wear a green dot for the Browns defense this year?
I was fascinated by that question on the rundown. Who's going to wear it?
I don't know.
I don't either, and I don't think there's any way we can guess.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what Jim's going to do.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know. Is he going to give preference to a guy like Awok, who was here?
Right.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Right, but, I've said a couple times, the linebacker, now this doesn't preclude him from wearing the green dot, but the linebacker is not as integral to the defensive scheme in his system as
do we even have linebackers
some of the others.
Anymore?
Well, they do.
Yeah, they're out there hanging
So,
out.
Thornhill would be a fine choice.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fine.
What would it say, though, to all of the guys on the team that have been here, that a newbie comes in and gets it?
Well, they're all new in the system.
They are, but they're guys that have worn this helmet for years.
Yeah, but I think that Thornhill brings a lot. He's won Super Bowls in Kansas City.
Yeah.
He brings that level of veteran leadership and play. So
I like
part of
that.
me also thinks we make too big of a deal about the
I
green
do,
dot.
too. It's not as big a deal as we make up, I don't think.
Yeah, yeah.
But because the reality is you're supposed to be knowing what everybody do. That's the expectation. And I know if it's in college, we used to have to write not only when we go over our game plan, he call out a play, and we'd have to write what the whole front seven would do.
Right.
That's everybody. Gaps, fits, because you didn't even know where everyone was at. So if you're a safety and you calling the plays, you should know what the corners, the nickels, the boundary corner, the strongest
Especially the defensive backs.
especially the DBs.
Because
You're
last
supposed to
year,
know all that.
they weren't on the wrong page. There were guys reading from different books last year. And that was, I think, one of the most disturbing things of the entire season was you've got guys that, some veterans, some guys that have been around a year or two that had looked better, that all of a sudden everybody was looking around going, wasn't my guy. I was where I was supposed to. That was really troubling.
And here's what I don't like either. I didn't like the fact that they said the schemes was too complicated, so we just gonna pare it down. I said, listen, man, when you playing against some of them, when I watched that quarterback show, right? And you watch how
While you're driving?
Yeah, not while I was driving. I was at the comfort of my own home.
My mom is yelling at me now in text.
Everyone should. It's not
They
just
should.
you were watching it. You were driving it, as G said, on two-hand highway.
Bro, that's
like,
two.
When you're driving to West
But
Virginia,
no.
the idea of a straight road is your driveway. Like, nothing is straight in West Virginia.
Them truckers been driving on 2 hours sleep. Amazon that told them they got to get it there today. Said, no, now we need it today.
So now,
and here's Jay watching quarterback.
now my mom's yelling at me, but go ahead.
When you see that when you see the mad scientists and how they be preparing and writing it down and doing what they do, even the dudes like Kirk Cousins, you start to understand that you have to just be as sophisticated as they are. So if you're a guy who don't understand the scheme because it's difficult or it takes some nuance, you got to put more work in. These quarterbacks is not going to take it easy on y'all. They're going to thread. How would you feel? Patrick Mahomes comes out here and he says, we could only run 3 coverages against Patrick because our guys don't know what to do. Are you serious?
That's not going to work.
That's not going to work, man. I got to get somebody to either understand the plays or is going to be able to grasp that, or we got to put more work in, guys, because the quarterbacks are putting more and more hours in. Heck, those guys out there is basically calling their own plays, and they wonder why. It just seems like we could never get them in a bad call. No, because they're putting the time in. So I want to see these guys be able to, whoever got the green dot, I want Jim Schwartz to be able to call whatever it's going to take to get a win on defense. And if that means calling 96 different plays and you got to know, you just got to know.
I agree with all of that.
All righty then. Let's move forward before we get to
What time is Mary Kay? Top of the hour?
Yeah, we got Mary Kay at noon.